Yo, it's your boy Riemoh, and I'm not trying to be first. I'm just trying to be right. And today, Lil Durk actually had a preliminary hearing, his last one that took place today in Los Angeles. And inside the courtroom today, 6ix9ine and Wack 100 name was brought up. So they brought 6ix9ine and Wack 100 name up because of an off-the-record clip on Academics podcast where basically 6ix9ine was questioning Wack 100. How come a lot of people aren't, telling Lil Durk to retaliate for the murder of King Von? I actually played a clip right here.
Me out. They know the exact same. I'm not bringing this off topic. Let me just get this on my chest. They know the exact nigga that put a fucking 10 bullets in King Von and he died there by himself. Why nobody slid for that nigga? I don't see you on Instagram saying, yo, go slide for that man. Listen, y'all know what y'all saying? Yo, y'all want this nigga to crash out. I'm gonna be real with you. No. Hold on. Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. If I didn't go hit the nigga that kidnapped me,
hold on.
Why this nigga not shooting the nigga that killed King Von, nigga?
Let me be real with you. I don't see you on Instagram saying, yo, Durk, go slide for me. I discovered King Von.
No. I don't want to talk about King Von. So why is Durk not sliding?
I don't know no politics.
On nigga kidnapping me? Listen, why is this nigga not sliding on the nigga?
How you know what they doing? Just because it ain't publicized on social media, how you know? How you know?
If we didn't have this conversation, how you know?
And the reason they want this clip shown to the jury is important because during the conversation, 6ix9ine questioned why Lil Durk hadn't slid for Von, and now the feds are trying to use that this clip is a part of the case to help establish what they believe was Durk's motive for retaliation. As soon as I seen Trap Lil Ross's clip, I actually posted about Wack and 6ix9ine being mentioned in court, and 6ix9ine and Wack 100 both reacted and had this to say. I guess you go on my Instagram page, I can see. So Wack 100 goes, wow, 6ix9ine and Wack, aka Energizer batteries. No way this triggered them, or maybe it did. Trap Lil Ross, I'm in your front yard right now. Come outside. And then 6ix9ine actually said, imagine a nigga with rainbow hair making you crash out. Can't be me though. Grown ass man, by the way. He actually posted this on his story too as well. He said, crashing out because of a Mexican with rainbow hair. Grown ass man, by the way. Left your family for Instagram comments. So you know 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine's always gonna troll about the situation. Yeah, in the courtroom, they're actually trying to submit this Academics podcast clip to kind of like paint a narrative and show like Lil Durk was actually mad and wanted to retaliate because there was a lot of fans and I guess celebrities and like figures in media saying that he should actually slide for Von. In that clip, Wack didn't have that side, but Wack was basically saying that he don't know what's going on behind the doors. We don't know if them niggas did slide. He was questioning 6ix9ine, like, how do you even know what them niggas did? Like, I don't know, I found that interesting that they're trying to bring that into the courtroom. Okay, so another name that was actually mentioned in courtroom today outside of 6ix9ine and Wack 100 was OTF Jam. OTF Jam went viral a few months back because everyone just out of nowhere started just alluding that he was the snitch in the OTF case, or at least one of the snitches. I don't know where a lot of people got that information from, but OTF Jam was the face of snitching for OTF for a long ass time now. It is believed that he is PW1, and basically they're saying that the feds said that OTF Jam will take the stand in the trial and reveal that Lil Durk pulled him to the side to talk about his alleged murders. And Trap Lil Ross actually has a clip right here where we can actually just let him play and just see what he said.
So I'm here at the federal courthouse after the Lil Durk hearing, and we just had some very, very interesting information about, possibly the most well-known alleged cooperator in this case, OTF Jam. Now, there was a crazy back and forth where they brought up a bunch of things about Jam. They said that the song Back Again was going to be used, and I'm not going to lie, I was happy to hear that because that's like one of my favorite songs. But obviously, in that song, he talks about, Jam got out that jam, I gave him 50,000, he ain't got to ask again. Well, they're basically saying that Jam is going to testify and cooperate and say that 50,000 that Durk gave him that he rapped about in Back Again, which bear in mind was made before King Von even died. But Jam is going to testify and say that he believes that he was given that money basically as like a, as a show of loyalty to basically kind of get, some kind of like future, as basically not like a prepayment, but basically like on the hopes that in future he might be able to do things for him. He might be able to slide for him. Now, what's crazy is that he's allegedly going to testify that actually when they were filming a music video, at some point, okay, this is absolutely crazy. At some point, all right, Durk and a bunch of the other members apparently confronted Jam in a bathroom. They took him into the bathroom, which is super weird, and they apparently confronted him, and they basically said, you moving too hot, you're going to get us jammed up, you got to be more careful about committing murders, and you're going to get the feds on us. Now, apparently that wasn't talking about the Pab murder. Apparently there's other murders, and it sounds like he's actually going to admit to the feds that he was doing all kinds of murders that haven't even been prosecuted by the sounds of it, not even related to this murder, and that he was basically a top hitter in OTF and for the Black Disciples, and that it was really that serious, and Jam was doing all that. So Jam's name came up a couple times. So another area where Jam was brought up, they basically talked about this federal freestyle, and they said that, you know, it's funny because the prosecutors literally said, look, Jam wasn't known as a good rapper. He was known as a hitter, a killer for OTF and for the Black Disciples. He was known as a Black Disciple hitter, and that's why he was put on this federal, ironically named federal freestyle. And that was basically as like, you know, as a favor for Jam. They were saying that that was almost like to solidify his place in the ranks of OTF and the dirt that he was going to or had already committed for the crew. And they basically said that apparently Jam is going to testify that he was in the federal freestyle, and that he basically is going to say that, look, he felt like if he didn't do the murder, if he didn't participate in this hit, that he felt like he wouldn't be included in these there's all types of sirens going on right now. It's crazy. That basically that they feel like Jam said that he didn't feel like he would have been included in all the OTF, you know, things that were going on, these opportunities, if he hadn't participated in that murder. And the last thing I'm going to say is that they said outright that apparently Jam was recruited for the Lil Pab murder by Riemoh, and they basically said that Riemoh had said to Jam specifically that Durk, but referring to him as Blood, he wants to fly you out for this murder. And apparently that's all going to be testified to. That's not looking great, to be honest with you guys.
Like, having Durk pull OTF Jam to the side to tell a nigga, like, yo, hey, you moving a little too hot is crazy. I don't know. It seems like Durk already knew what type of nigga OTF Jam was and what type of person he was dealing with. So the fact that he had to even like tell him, like, look, you moving too hot. Cause like, you know, the famous song where he's like, yo, Jam, get out the Jam and give him 50. He ain't got to ask again. They're saying that Durk like cashed him out. But I don't know if they're trying to say that he cashed him out for murders to do in the future, because a lot of that shit happened right before any of this. Like, OTF Jam was released from jail and a lot of shit was already done. So like, I don't know why they're trying to say that they talked about alleged murders and bring up the fact that there was some money involved, but I don't know like if they're trying to basically use that as like Lil Durk prepaid for some bodies by giving him some money. I don't know if that's the case, but OTF Jam, or PW1, who we all believe is OTF Jam, which is probably looking more than likely, is gonna be taking a stand and gonna be in trial. And you know, they've been saying Jam been snitching, so we're actually gonna hear more from Jam. So you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys think that Lil Durk is actually gonna be able to, you know, might be able to walk through this motherfucker, you know, moonwalk out this motherfucker? Like, he do got Brian Still. Brian Still was able to help Young Thug get out the YSL trial, so a lot of people are feeling confident in the people he actually decided to represent him. But it seems like they got a lot of evidence stacked up against him when you're saying all this shit that, you know, OTF Jam was able to witness, and if he was there testifying and he'd been snitching and cooperating this whole time, there's no other telling whatever. There's no telling what other evidence they might have and what else is going to actually pop up in the courtroom that we're going to be shocked to find out this week. You know, Durk is going to be in trial August 20th, so we pretty much got like 2 days away before the trial actually begins. So we'll be finding out the fate of Lil Durk real soon. You guys like, comment, subscribe, help run me up, and y'all come back for another one.